Kevin Spacey, just cleaning house back in the day. But today we will have our own nominees for what we consider the best ensemble, a group of people that work together for a greater good. And who has number one? Who's it going to be? I think it is the Schrags. Go get it, Peter.
We'll stay right here in New York City. And, you know, when I think of cinema, I don't just think of happy endings. I don't just think of beautiful fairy tales. I like sometimes a little bit of drama. I like sometimes a little bit of things that don't end the way you expect it to be. So I'm going to go with the Giants wide receivers as the best ensemble. The triplets, really. Odell Beckham Jr., Victor Cruz, and Sterling Shepard. These guys combined for a total of 346 targets last year, third most of any wide receiver duo. But I love this before the games. I would go to these Giants games and be on the sidelines. They had a whole routine that I don't think got enough credit. I mean, look at this, Nate. This was before the game every week. I mean, how choreographed was this stuff? This was tremendous stuff. They brought it. It was New York City. They brought sizzle. And I used to love these. Look at this. He's kicking it.
He will dance. Catch the ball.
Oh, is that what they're saying?
Hey. So I love all that. That was great. Every week they brought it. They were fun. And then comes the denouement. This becomes the scene where it's, wait a second, this is the car. That.
Oh, yeah.
You know, who was it? Little Yeezy. Who was on the thing? What was it? Little Yachty. Who was it? Who was it?
Trey Songz.
Trey Songz. Little Yeezy. My favorite rapper. Little Yeezy.
Little Yachty would make sense and be sort of ironic. He was not there.
Little Yachty would have made sense.
Because it's a yacht.
It's a yacht.
So would wearing flip-flops instead of Timberlands. But I digress.
Speaking of shoes, Kay.
Yes.
Who's your nominee?
Hey! Good segue. Nominate him. I'm going to go with the ensemble of NFL players who chose to participate in the NFL's initiative for My Cause, My Cleats. It was week 13. Remember that? Guys, over 500 players. You're all nominated because you took part in that program to raise awareness for a charity of your choice. Then they auctioned the cleats off.
Yeah.
So you got guys like Dak Prescott raised over $7,500 for American Cancer Society. I don't know who. I wish I knew. Guys, I wish I knew. That's Delaney Walker from MAD. We use a friend of the show. Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Who's this? I don't know. I don't know.
But the cleats are great. I mean,
Golden Tate was supporting the Golden Future Foundation, which supports veterans and military families, and Jameis Winston with the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation. Delaney Walker, like I said, a friend of the show, with his MAD. So they basically put a cause for their charity on their cleats. As a player, that would have been awesome to have done when you played, right?
It was great because we did it ourselves, but we always ran the risk of getting fined or having our cleats, being removed at halftime. So I'm glad that the players were able to do that. And also, kudos to the NFL for getting involved and say, you know what, I'm listening to the players. This is what they want. Let's make something out of it.
It was 1 week, and it was designated that this is the day. I think next year, I think all season, if you want to wear
release the hounds. Sure, why not? It's for charity. It's cool. It's fun. No one's getting hurt. There's no problem with it. I love that idea. Just release it all season.
They raised quite a bit of money. Zeke Elliott, close to $7,000 to benefit shelter animals and animals in need. It's great. Over 500 players. It's a great cause.
And yesterday we had Zeke jumping into the kettle. Zeke's doing all kinds of good.
Those of you who love good things, vote for me. My cause, man.
Kay does go for those, and those are good causes. I have one that's more football-related here specifically. And sometimes they release the same movie in the same year. It'll be like The Truman Show and Ed TV or Dante's Peak and Volcano. Yeah. I have kind of the same movie as Peter. I have the Falcons wide receivers as an ensemble, the Falcons weapons. Peter, when you were talking about the Giants, you said you want a little drama, you want something that ends maybe not how you expect. I give you the Atlanta Falcons receivers, guys. I mean, we're talking about a true ensemble like the Outsiders, and Julio obviously is the Pony Boy, and Taylor Gabriel is the Soda Pop, and Mohamed Sanu is the Dally Winston. We're seeing all of these guys who scored all these touchdowns. It's not just the leads. It's the guys who have one line sometimes, but they make it count. Justin Hardy, 21 catches, but 4 were for touchdowns. The Atlanta Falcons are the ultimate ensemble. This was what we're talking about when we talk a cast from top to bottom. Look, we have to run it in fast motion just to get them all in. It's like one of those silent films with a piano player, and this was the best movie I saw all year.
Was it? They lost the Super Bowl. Just saying.
It did end in a way that was not ideal, right?
No, it was a terrible ending. It was it was no Country for Old Men. Everyone dies at the end. But it was a hell of a run.
I just want to rack up those awards tomorrow.
I know you do, Kay. You're going to have some hardware. It was great. But you don't get to choose, and neither do I. It's the people. The people choose. I will. And we have one final nominee, and that goes to Nathaniel for our listen. What do you got?
Well, talking about ensembles, it's all about the groups that don't get a lot of credit. I like to, give the unsung heroes some credit. Now, I'm going to name some stats for the Cowboys. They're 5th in scoring in total offense. Zeke Elliott led the league over 1,600 yards. Dak Prescott, the best rookie season as a quarterback. So you name all those things and you list all those things. And then the question I have is, who do you want to give credit to? And who comes to mind? It's
Dak and Zeke.
Dak and Zeke.
Dez and Witten.
And Dez and Witten.
Garrett deserves credit.
Everybody. Yes, that is true. But the group that we're not talking about, that we should talk about, is the offensive line. This could be, if they had a group MVP award, they would have won the MVP. Did you just drop your pen on me?
Just
I think she dropped it like the mic.
I know what you're doing.
You know what I'm doing. I'm pulling at the heartstrings of the nation.
Fighting fire with fire.
Cowboys, America's team, we get it. Lots of
Tyron
votes.
Smith, Zach Martin, Travis Frederick. These guys, they collected 142 first downs. Doug Free, Ronald Leary. These are the groups that went out there and did it. You talking about in a game where we've turned the NFL into 7-on-7 and it's a so-called passing league. They went out there and said, we want to run the ball, we will run the ball, and that took them into the postseason. For a moment, they were hands down the favorite to win the Super Bowl. Okay, their youth kind of got to them and they lost, but still, you got to give credit where credit is due. If we're going to talk about what the offense did for the Cowboys, please give it to the guys that are in the trenches putting in work every single snap.
I think it's a proud submission. Hey, Kay Adams, are you a little bored by that?
I'm okay. No, it's wonderful.
It is wonderful.
I mean, Dak and Zeke also were part of My Cause, My Cleats.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true. So we
The
could both
offensive
win.
line, they got golf carts from Ezekiel Elliott.
did.
They're
Those were
fine.
cool.
They're
I'm
good.
just saying, they're good.
The O-line feels a little bit like the English patient or something.
It does.
Like it's really good.
Art house
It's
pick.
good, but no one's ever actually